Thank you for visiting Past the Wire TV, the YouTube channel of PastTheWire.com. Buongiorno everybody, Saratoga Today from Past the Wire, day 11 of the meet. Big shout out to Zilla Racing Stables, who this show was brought to you in part by. Both of their horses ran well yesterday. They didn't get into the winner's circle, but both horses hit the board, ran nice. Always like to see that with our sponsors. Shout out to our friends at AM Wager and Spendthrift Farm. And we're rolling along, third week in the meet, day 11. I asked my phone this morning if it was going to rain up at the spot today. It said most definitely. They're holding the main track, only horses in. Rain is expected midday and to continue through tonight. So we already talked about how when we're looking at these races early in the morning and we don't know what the weather is going to be, and even if the races are going to be on the grass or on the dirt, it's really impossible to form a valued, intelligent opinion. You don't know who's in, who's out, or even what the surface or the track conditions are going to be. I had a conversation with an old friend on social media the other day who liked the horse that won up at Saratoga, Caravel, and he mentioned that he liked her in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. And I'm like, you can't pick the Breeders' Cup Sprint in July or August. The race is in November. Well, they like her, and that's their opinion, and they're entitled to it. But in my opinion, you need a crystal ball to do that, because that's like telling me that you don't care about the post position, the draw, the competition, the pace, the weather, how the track is playing, the riders. I mean, you just not factoring so many things. Not quite that bad when you've got rain in the morning like we do today. But it's a similar kind of concept. So with that in mind, we're going to do a little punt and not really get too involved in the card today. Really can't. But we will talk about the stake, the New York bred 6.5 furlong stake. That's the 9th race on the card, which is a nice little race. And we'll talk about that angle and another angle. Actually, two other angles briefly, and we'll regroup for tomorrow, day 12, which is the Curlin First Captain, highly anticipated race. Could have Travers implications. Hopefully the weather clears off by then. Saturday is Jim Dandy Day, another day with Travers implications, and we'll probably see Essential Quality, Belmont winner, 2-year-old champion in that race. So we'll try and go after and find some nice swings. Yesterday, man, Lake Avenue ran a huge race. She really did. She ran huge. Sweet Melania didn't run at all. Didn't take the lead off that sprinter that she should have just been better than. And her race was essentially over once that happened. She wasn't going to win from sitting off the pace, in my opinion. Her shot was to clear, and she didn't. And that was over. But Lake Avenue really ran too good to lose. I thought 3-1 was fair in that field, and she ran great. But that Bell's the one. I mean, she came from far back, went wider, and just maintained that run the whole way down the lane, going 6, not even 7, and she was able to maintain that big move and get up in the last jump. We've had a tough meet. We've had some big runs and some big prices come close. One big price got home. Our one major wager winner is still 1 for 1. But we had a couple of tough seconds, and Lake Avenue would definitely be one of them. So hopefully that'll turn soon. Now, the angle that I wanted to talk about was, excuse me, in the stake, the John Morrissey. My boy Tate is who I like in that race, and it's a very competitive race. These New York bred stakes often are. These horses have a tendency to beat each other, and who gets the trip and whose day it is. And I would like my boy Tate a lot better if he was drawn to the outside. He's drawn into 3-hole, but he's coming off what looks like a really bad race at Parks in the slop, and it was a bad race. Okay, he was fourth by 14 lengths. Never really got involved. It was a conditioned allowance race at Parks. I thought it was kind of a weird spot to send him. He's freshened up off that race, and he's 7-2 on the morning line, and he'd probably be 5-2 if he wasn't coming off that race, and I think he would absolutely be the favorite going in the gate if he wasn't coming off that bad race. Sometimes a horse coming off a bad race, if you can forgive it or find an excuse or draw a line through it, you get a little bit of value the next time out. If you think they're going to bounce back and you can find an excuse, or you're just willing to gamble that there is a legit one, and you get that little extra value. I don't think my boy Tate will be the favorite today, although I really couldn't tell you for sure who's going to be. But he may be, and especially after this show, you never know who sees it and decides to bet a lot of money or spread the word. You just don't know. I've seen that happen before with obscure. This is not an obscure horse, but with obscure horses I've given out that I've liked and have gone off much shorter than anticipated. So you never know what's out there and what happens, and it may have something to do with that. It may not. Who knows? But my boy Tate coming off that race. A lot of people look at Buyers. I don't. I look at Thoroughgraph, but he's coming off that 67 number on the Buyers, which is right there stamped in the racing form. People are going to look at that and say, you know what, they'll lean away from him a little bit, and I think he can bounce back. I think he loves a wet track, but he didn't like it at Parks, and sometimes that happens. He's run well at Saratoga before. Manny Franco rides him. He rides him well. He could sit right off the pace and hopefully not get bottled up or in trouble from that, anywhere from the four post or inside sprinting. If you're not pure speed, I worry. And we mentioned that with Lake Avenue yesterday. She didn't get bottled up. Junior got her a good trip, but she was in behind horses and had a very good chance of getting bottled up. So that said, I think if my boy Tate gets the trip, he can bounce back at a track that he likes. I think his A-game race puts him right with these, and I think he's got a big shot today to run good, and I think you'll get a little better price on him because of that bad race last time out. Another angle that I like, but this race just came up tough, so I really can't say that I'm in love with this horse today, because I'm not by any stretch of the imagination, but I just wanted to talk about it because we're not going to talk about a lot of the other races because of the weather. But if you look at in the 8th race, Anna's Fast, she's a horse that looks cheap, coming off 2 claiming wins into a non-winner or 2 allowance race. I'd like it better if it was a non-winner or 1, but it's a non-winner or 2. But the same principle, and again, I'm not on this horse, but it's an angle I think that if you embrace it and take a look at it and recognize it going forward in the future, it's something that can make you money. Horse like this that looks cheaper and maybe a cut below, but is coming in a race off the claim, off 2 or sometimes 3 good confidence building wins with speed. Sometimes when they get good, they just stay good. And claiming horses that get confident and have multiple wins going against limited winners, especially non-winner or 1 or one-time career-wise winners, I think get a little bit of an edge. You know what I mean? There's something to be said for that experience and knowing where the wire is and knowing where the winner's circle is. So that's an angle that I like to look for when I handicap. And this is just a horse I'm giving as an example. I think she is in tough today. And again, it's not the non-winner of one scenario that I gravitate to and really like with that particular angle, but it is something I think is worth looking for. Today's card wasn't the greatest to begin with. I've got a feeling that they'll probably get the first couple of turf races in on the grass, maybe the second and third. I don't know. It said the rain's supposed to hit about 1, 2, 2:30 up there. You never know. It could come earlier, but it did sound like it was going to be a little bit hard and continue. Showers continue through the night. So hopefully they clear off with enough time for the track to be good tomorrow. The other thing I wanted to mention, we mentioned the horse yesterday that I said I thought was a runner and that was working really good, and that was Cody's Wish. The horse that Rosario rode from Mott. They took Junior Alvarado off. Horse ran third, but left in the gate. Rosario decided to make a big early move, rushed up, got into contention, and then kind of flattened out. With a clean break, I think that horse was probably the best horse in the race, and it was just another unfortunate trip. And we've had our share of them this meet for sure. So hopefully that all turns soon. I'm confident it will. I'm not too worried about it. It's a long meet. Plenty of time to take down a big score or two. And now that we're 3 weeks into the meet, what I'm going to do is kind of look at a couple of different sequences that I might like a pick 5 or a pick 4 or a pick 3, where we go over a couple of races and I say, okay, this is basically what my ticket's going to look like and who I'm going to use. And maybe we can do that on, we'll definitely do it on some of the big stake days, but maybe we can do it for the Jim Dandy, seeing how that card shakes up, and hopefully the weather's good by then, and we'll see what happens. So with that, thank you everybody for tuning in. Short show today, although this is what I'd like them all to really be. I don't want to take up too much of anybody's time in the morning, but short show today. Again, nice job, Zilla, with both of their horses yesterday. They come to run, we know that, and they're a good partnership to look at. Thanks again to them for helping us do these shows. Thanks to our guys at Amwager, who have every tool you could want for the better. We're going to talk a little bit about some of their tools in one of the shows coming up. Always a shout out to our people at Spendthrift Farm that help us bring these videos to you. And we will reconvene in the morning, and hopefully the weather won't be a hamper on us. Let's see what my boy Tate can do today, if he can bounce back off that bad race, inflated price angle that I like, and we'll go from there. So ciao for now. See you for day 12. Nobody does it better.